Okay, so this is our first example of the t-test. And we're comparing group 1 who's tried an old version of Diet Coke and group 2 that's got a new version of Diet Coke. Okay, and they've rated it on a scale of 1 to 10. So 1 is it's really disgusting, and 10 is it's super awesome. Okay, those are not very good anchor points, but we'll go with that for right now. Okay, so since we're just comparing two groups, okay, that are not related to each other, we can do a t-test for independent samples. Okay, so we're going to go to parametric tests. So that's where it is in Excel stats, under parametric stats. And it's trying to help me. I don't want help. Okay, so we want to go to the two sample t-test. Okay, and so here we have it set up so that we have one column per sample. Okay, sometimes you may have it set up as one column per variable. And if you look at the other example on how to do an independent samples t-test, they're set up in the one column per variables setup. Okay, so group 1 is, and all I've done is highlight group 1, including their label. And then for sample 2, it's just group 2, and I've highlighted their title. Okay, and all the standard options are fine, but make sure you're doing a student's t-test. Okay, then you click OK, and then we get these results. Okay, so we get our group 1, group 2 variables, so that we know the descriptive statistics of those. Okay, and then we're going to look at down here. Okay, so we have our difference between the values. Okay, so if you subtracted group 2 from group 1, that's what you'd get. Okay, then we have the t observed value. This is what would happen if you did the formula. Okay, and then we have the t critical value. This is the point at which 5% of the data with that number of degrees of freedom would be above that point. This is the point where 5% would be above. Okay, now if we remember correctly, we can compare the absolute value of the observed value to the critical value. Okay, in order for our result to be significant, we actually want the absolute value of our observed value to be greater than the absolute value of our critical value, which is not the case. Okay, and we can double check this by looking at our p-value. Okay, so we can test to see if our p-value, of significance with our p-value, all we're doing is comparing it to alpha, which is 0.05. Now, if our p-value is greater than 0.05, it's not significant. Okay? Don't forget, you're going to get the same answer using the observed compared to the critical as you are using the p-value approach. So what we have here is not a significant difference between these two groups. Okay? There's not a significant difference in how much people like old Coke versus how much they like new Coke. Okay? Alright. Watch the other t-test video to see how to do this with when you have a variable, when your two samples are when you have your variables in different columns. Okay.